Get Out was a film that got high critical praise. Was Jordan Peele able to repeat that masterpiece with Us? Find out after the intro. Hi, my name's June. Welcome to another review video on my channel. I am today talking about the film Us, which came out in 2019. In case it did fly under your radar, this would be a very good chance to watch it, get back to it, whatever, because the film, in short, is really brilliant. I feel that Jordan Peele is a very unique filmmaker. He does an excellent job here. While it is a horror film, yes, it's not as simple as that, I feel. It's got a very, very good mix of many things, but generally speaking, yes, it is a horror film. What is it about? The film Us, to put it very, very bluntly, is basically a home invasion story. And the monsters, as is shown in the trailer, this is not really a spoiler, I feel. What's interesting about the monster here is that it's copies of the people in the film. So basically imagine that the thing hunting you is you. I won't talk about that in more detail, as in why are there copies, how did they come to be, are they copies, etc, etc. I won't get into that. I'll let you find that out by watching the film yourself. But that is the plot, basically. That's what it is about. This family in their home is being hunted by people that look exactly like them. Now, as mentioned, it is a horror film, probably more so than Get Out. Get Out was a bit of a mix, I feel, not a straight horror film. This really is an actual horror film. It has many of the elements that you love to have in such films. You have, for instance, a theme musically that keeps coming back during the film. It's very, very stylish, classical horror thing to keep the tension high. You've got great camera work that goes with it. Jordan Peele, I feel, he's very specific about what he wants the camera to show you. It follows everyone around, so you feel like you're there with the characters, which is great. It's very close, like I say, so you've got a bit of tension built by that alone, a bit of claustrophobia going on. But he will also focus the camera on certain details that he just wants you to notice, which is great. So he does think about what he wants in his shot, and he tries, it seems, to limit what is in the shot to keep you focused on what is important. While it is a horror film, it's worth mentioning that Jordan Peele, he has his roots in comedy, and he uses that to a great effect in this film. He is very good at breaking up the tension and mixing it up with some comedy, with some humour. He places it very distinctly with a lot of purpose. I also saw in the extras on the Blu-ray that is intentional, so he does want to break up the tension with comedy, and it is executed really well. My wife, for instance, she is not into horror films. She doesn't really like them. She went to the cinema with me to watch Us when it came out, and she did say to me that without the humour it would have been a very different affair. So for people like her, if you are such a person, if you're not too into horror films, for her, the humour helped really make the whole thing enjoyable. I haven't mentioned the characters yet. This is a good point to do so. The main cast is a family of 4. You have got father, mother, and the 2 children. The mother is played by Lupita Nyong'o. Winston Duke plays the father. Shahadi Wright Joseph plays the daughter, and Evan Alex plays the son. You also have Elizabeth Moss and Tim Heidecker in this film, although their roles are a bit minor. They are friends of the family. But those 4 that I mentioned, the family, they are really the main casts, the main focus of this film. And all 4 of them do an excellent job. Just coming back to the comedy, that is primarily Winston Duke, so the father. He has great lines in this film. He is really perfect. He is in his nature goofy, and it just works so well, like I said, to break up the tension. So he is a very, very likeable character here. Both children do an excellent job too, so I feel that they're not just children in the story. They're not just sort of shafted to the side. They're not put away. They are also very, very important to the action and what's going on. And these two people also did a great job at acting. But I must say that the top spot when it comes to acting in this film definitely is Lupita Nyong'o. She is an Oscar-winning actress. It's very easy to see why in this film. It's a truly stunning performance. Just to recall, you have got a copy of it each person. So this is the difficulty, I would assume, production-wise. So they had to, in effect, play two roles. Every single person in the family had to play two roles. So that is quite interesting, and I suppose the execution really, really difficult because you have to film every scene twice, basically, and you don't play opposite of yourself, which is usual, normal when you're filming. Of course, you have somebody that you're talking to. In this case, it doesn't quite work that way. So that is really interesting. There are some extras on the Blu-ray that explain this a bit more that are really interesting that I highly recommend. But yes, Lupita Nyong'o, she is the main character of the story, and her opposite also has a very important role in the story, and just watching her play both sides is truly incredible. Her eyes particularly. I find them quite scary. They seem really enormous, so I feel that when she looks at you, it's like she's piercing through your body right into your heart and soul. But it's really powerful what she does with those eyes, and just her general mannerisms. All of them paid attention to portray these copies differently, so it's not like they are exactly like them. They have their own little tics and things going on, and so a lot of thought and care was put into really bringing these copies to life as well, particularly in Lupita Nyong'o's case. But I won't spoil why that is exactly. Again, please do find that out for yourself. So you have great direction, you have an incredible cast. All of them do a really great job here to portray both sides of this story. And apart from that, the music I already mentioned, you've got classical horror things going on that really, really help to just up the tension and alleviate it as well. You have pop songs, I'll call them popular songs, okay? They're not actually pop songs, not in terms of genre, but well-known songs that they add into the mix here very well too. One particularly interesting use of a song here is of I've Got Five on It, which is also in the trailer. Maybe you've already seen that, heard it, of course. It's a very well-known song. They've got a very special version in this film where the song is kind of taken apart. It's put in bits, and I'm really bad at explaining this, but they use it to really add to the tension. It's very, very interesting. I'm not a particular hip hop and R&B fan, but this film has kind of brainwashed me a bit into maybe thinking about I should get the song. I'm not sure. And one thing in particular I really enjoyed, I didn't notice when I was in the cinema so much, it didn't stick in my head, but rewatching it now at home on the Blu-ray, there's an intro song. It's used during the intro credits, and then it appears again throughout the film. It really reminded me a lot of the intro used for the Ghost in the Shell anime. If you know that, if you've seen that, it's this sort of choir that sings. It's a really great song. I like it a lot, and this song kind of reminded me of that. I'm wondering if that was the intention. I'm not quite sure if that's where the idea came from. Maybe Jordan Peele knows and loves Ghost in the Shell and wanted a similar song or something to that effect. Anyway, I just thought that was something that really stuck with me when rewatching the film. Okay, that is where I shall leave this. I highly recommend this film. I'm sure once you're finished watching it, you'll be thinking about it, thinking about things that worked or didn't work in the film. Again, I won't spoil it. Just know that many people like to say, oh, once you've seen the whole thing, it makes no sense, etc., etc. While I can agree with some of those sentiments, in the end, I feel it doesn't matter, because when you're going through the story, when you're enjoying it for the first time, you don't pay attention to any of those things. And if you want to nitpick it afterwards, fine. But I feel that even knowing that there are some plot holes here and there, that don't really make sense, I feel it does not take away from my enjoyment of the film. High recommendation from me for direction, tension, music, the acting. Lupita Nyong'o, like I say, fabulous actress, really incredible job here, and great humour as well. So, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen the film, what you thought of it. If you have other recommendations for really interesting horror films, I like stuff that's not really the typical fare, something that makes me think, similar to It Follows, which if you've not seen my review for, you can click up here to see that. Like the video, share it around if you want, that would make me very happy. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.